want to do a video about former President Joe Biden of Delaware. Uh, do you miss him? Do I miss him? No, I don't miss former President Biden. Um, Joe Biden was, falling all over the place, and the White House was kind of a nursing home for him. He had to be let off a stage by his wife. He got lost on the stage. He was riding his bicycle in Delaware, and he fell off his bicycle. He was walking up the steps on Air Force One, and he tripped on the steps a few times. He was in Colorado, I remember, and at the military school in Colorado, and he tripped all the way down, and he fell all the way down on some sandbags because he wasn't watching where he was going, and he fell on those sandbags. But the worst part is the auto pen. He wasn't a legit POTUS, president of the United States. The auto pen thing, that we don't know if he even signed those documents, other than pardoning his son Hunter. And so he was just a total joke. He was boring. He was a bore. Boring speeches, really boring. He wasn't any fun. He wasn't entertaining. He was boring. His jokes were boring. He was boring. Otherwise, he was a little comical, but not as funny as Trump. He was no fun. Saying that he was worse than Jimmy Carter is an understatement. Jimmy Carter wasn't even really that bad. Jimmy Carter actually was better than people think. He was way worse than Jimmy Carter, way worse. Jimmy Carter wasn't even that bad. Jimmy Carter was not the worst president in history. I actually like some things about Jimmy Carter. I don't think he was anywhere near as bad as people think. Joe Biden is right at the bottom, probably the worst POTUS that I've been in the White House. No, I don't miss him. I don't think even most Democrats miss Joe Biden. Eating his ice cream cones. I did read a book I read a few books about Biden, about his background. But the most important thing you have to understand about Joe Biden, I'll say, other than the infrastructure bill, probably his only accomplishment in office. One thing I'll say is losing his son, Beau Biden, which was when President Obama was in office. He lost his son that was in the military, Beau Biden. And if you read that book, you kind of see another side. And I'm not saying something positive about his presidency, but if you read more about losing his son, Beau Biden, then you do get a better reflection. You get a more positive understanding of him as a person. Now, I'm not saying about those dismal 4 years that he had from 21 to January 25. I'm saying if you read the book about Beau Biden, then you get a better understanding of Joe Biden as a person. As a person, you kind of see that there's more to him. He's a complicated person. But Donald Trump is like Ronald Reagan. But I can't say that Biden is like Carter, because Carter was a lot better than Biden. But I just hope in his retirement age, I just hope that he keeps eating those ice cream cones. Just keep eating those ice cream cones. And President Biden, keep enjoying those ice cream cones. And when you eat those ice cream cones, just remember about you being an auto pen, and you really being a boring president and a lousy president. And that'll be about all.